Hey everybody! So today we're going to do some varnishing, but first I'm going to show you some of the steps you need to take before you apply the varnish. So let's say that we've already cleaned our paintings with baby powder or with our Dawn dish soap. If you're using silicone, this is a step that you want to take, and I use 91% alcohol that you can get Walgreens, any drugstore carries it. And then we just get yourself a nice soft washcloth, and I'll show you what we're going to do. I'm going to bring you down a little bit so you won't have to look at me. But make sure your hair is up in a bun so you don't get hair in your varnish. So let's get started. See if I can get you down. There we go. So I got myself a nice soft washcloth, and I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of alcohol on there. And I'm going to pay particular attention to the spots where I really have silicone. I don't see it because I washed it off, with my spritzer. But this is just an extra step that I take in case I'm going to resin, so I don't have to deal with silicone. So that's all there is to it. And yes, you will get some color on your rag. If you're doing white paintings after that, just keep flipping your rag. Do not use paper towels because this does get sticky and you don't want that extra lint on there. Microfiber cloth or a washcloth works great. So I'm going to set that one aside. So now that you've seen how I do that, let's talk about brushes. I prefer a Hake brush. These are made with goat's hair. They're super, super soft. You can see how nice and soft they are. And they feel really good on the skin. When you're going to shop for a brush, do that. Make sure it's nice and soft. That eliminates brush marks. Anytime you're cleaning a painting, make sure you're wearing gloves. You don't want to put your hand oils back on, because if I was manhandling this with my hands, when I put the resin on, it may be spotty there. And that can happen with varnish as well. Varnish that I like to use is Liquitex Gloss Medium, or Gloss. This is a high gloss bottle, but it's just the gloss that's inside here because I buy it by the gallon and just reuse my bottles. But that's what I suggest to use. So let me grab a painting, and I'm going to show you how I apply my varnish. First coat, you want to be liberal. Let me close that alcohol up. So you want to make sure that you have enough varnish on your canvas. Do not shake because you'll get bubbles. You shouldn't have to shake. So I always make sure I don't have any hairs that are loose, and I just go ahead and spread this around very quickly. You want to move fast with varnish because it does dry super fast. Okay, and make sure you get all your sides. Okay, so now that I know that it's on there and it's still nice and wet, and I'm pushing it off as I go, I wipe my brush and I come back this way, but I feather it. It's very super light. I'm just touching the top of that varnish. So you can see I don't have any brush marks. I know it's hard to show you exactly what it will look like, but there should not be any brush marks. Let me grab another one. So let's do another big one. So I want to get a good squirt of varnish on there. Don't put too much on because you're just going to waste it. We want to get it around that canvas quickly. Don't be afraid of it. And a lot of people do it really slow, and that's how you get your brush marks. One more time over quickly to get the excess off. It will go over your side. And just a very light touch. Always hashtag. So you're going this way to get it on, this way to feather it out. I always do a double check to make sure I don't see any brush hairs. And then it goes back to the rack. Let's try a long one. Back with the varnish. Just getting it on. Now on your whites, you want to watch for dust spots, because you will get some little flecks in there that you won't be able to get them out later. Just wanted to make sure I had that corner. Wipe my brush and just feather it out. I learned this from Anne Marie years ago, and it is the best way to varnish. If you see bubbles, just drop your hands a couple of times. Should pop your bubbles. Just kind of like when you bake a cake. Let me grab one of Alan's. Oh, this one's mine actually. If they look familiar, they're recent videos probably that you've seen, but they've been painted a while. So I get my sides. And I know I'm covering because I have a lot of varnish in that brush. That's why I wipe before I feather. But that's all there is to it, guys. Simple, simple. You can check your edges with your hands to make sure you're not going to drip. I have these shoe racks that I put mine on that hold about 30 paintings. So I have 2 that are full, completely full, that need to be varnished in resin. So I'm going to be busy today. But let me do this last one. If you have questions, you can reach out to me. You can send me an email at ChristinaWelchArt@yahoo.com. That is my go-to email for anything you have questions about, or paint orders or whatever. But subscribe if you haven't already. Click on that bell. You'll get notifications when I put a new video up. I see hair. I'm going to get that with the edge of my brush. Check my brush, make sure it's there, and it's not. Got it that time. And just go ahead and feather that back out. If you get a little flaw, leave it. Don't keep picking at it. You can get it on the next coat. Leave a comment. Check out all the links below. The Hake brushes are available from Jerry's Artorama. I'll put that link below in the description. Just click on that and it will take you right to the page. These come 3 in a pack. They're different sizes. This size is my favorite for varnishing. The other 2 you could use for tiles or whatever else you're doing that's smaller. And I don't do the sponge thing. I like a good brush. I like a good varnish. And sometimes you can get away with 2 coats. So keep that in mind when you're varnishing too. Don't put it on too heavy. You may get some crackling. Make sure you work that off on that first pass. And when you feather it out, you're taking some more off too. So that looks good to me. That's going to go on the rack. And I'm going to keep right on going. So thanks so much for watching. See you guys later. Bye now.